Occasionally, characters take a leave of absence for one reason or another, oftentimes due to losing trademarks. After G2, Hasbro lost the trademark to Bumblebee, with him spending majority of the 90s and early 2000s out of the picture aside from occasional PVC figures. In 2006, Hasbro got the trademark for the name Bumblebee back, and by Primus, they were gonna push that to its limits. My name is Sint, and today on Sint Reviews, we're going to be taking a look at Transformers movie concept Bumblebee.
Bumblebee was released in 2007 as part of the fourth wave of the Deluxe lineup, and initially retailed for about $10. He was the second version of Bumblebee that was released in the Deluxe class.
Starting off in alt mode, Bumblebee is of course that now iconic, or in some people's minds, infamous 2008 Chevrolet Camaro concept in orangish yellow. And as you can see, Hasbro has always had issues matching yellow, so all I can really say at this point is, shut up about Earthrise Sunstreaker, we get it. Much like his fellow car former Jazz, Bumblebee has very nice mold detailings, such as the door handles, molded and painted Camaro logo, the Chevy badges on the front and back, along with the little molded and license plate, and taillights, molded and gas cap, only one this time, unlike on Jazz, so more real world accurate. In addition to some little real world accurate panel lining right here at the front. Overall, some very nice mold detailing on this guy. When it comes to paint types, B is no/2. The entire door section right here is painted clear plastic, which I really don't have any fear of that breaking. You can see the painted grille and Chevy badge right up here at the front. The painted taillights and exhaust pipes right here at the back. And of course, the painted Chevy logo and hubcaps. And of course, the iconic double racing stripe, which has now basically become an aspect of Bumblebee's design overall. Compared to Jazz, B's underside kibble is an H.R. Geiger nightmare. And as you can see, the feet do hang down a bit, but there's just enough clearance to where he can roll pretty smoothly on the ground. So that's nice, but yeah, just that is terrifying. For size comparison, here he is with Legacy Blur, roughly the same size. And then here he is with Siege Red Alert, to get a basic idea of how he is next to a normal modern Deluxe. Overall, Bumblebee's alt mode is another stellar outing from the movie alt modes, getting a lot of really good molding detailing of an overall very, very cool looking car. Honestly, one of the strongest of the Deluxe alt modes. On to transformation.
Bumblebee ranks as a 3 in complexity. He's the most complex of the line's 4 Deluxe car formers, which isn't really saying much when your only real competition is Jazz, Barricade, Swindle, and a handful of Unicron Trilogy repaints.
Bumblebee's transformation is about what you expect from movie Bumblebee. However, he has 2 automorphs during this, so we're going to start off by popping open the doors, that, the other side, and pull out the fenders. One of mine has a little bit of give, and you have to pull out on it a little bit hard, but too bad. Take the rear panels, swing them out like this. And then the first automorph comes in. Sort of angles out like this. Flip down the hood. And then the arms and the, fenders and door bits all sort of go into place. Next, we're going to swing up the doors like this, give them his iconic door wings. Take these little grill panels right here, flip them up, split the legs, take out the weapon, and then the other automorph occurs when you extend the legs, and the entire leg section just sort of transforms on its own. Swing up these leg panels, swing the arms into position, and then rotate around the arm panels. And there we have Bumblebee in his robot mode. Bee's robot mode is very slim and very athletic looking, which fits the movie version of the character pretty well. And overall, capturing the design of the movie character, I think it looks pretty alright for what they could do at the time. It does have a few little inaccuracies here and there, but for the most part, capturing the look of the model in plastic form, for a first attempt with this particular design, I think it turned out pretty well. I think the door wings are handled here way better than a lot of even modern movie Bumblebee figures are. They're angled back slightly, the doors kind of integrate really well into the design, and the fenders are not just laying flat against the doors, they are angled inwards slightly, which gives them a slightly more dynamic and slightly less intrusive looking design. However, for some reason, it took 10 years for them to get in the secondary wings, and I have no idea why that is. And much like with the alt mode, the paint and molding on it is fantastic. You have these little yellow bits here on the torso, as well as the license plate on the midriff. The molding and detailing is generally pretty nice. These little yellow bits right here like to pop off, so yeah, that's a bit annoying, but eh. And then the chest panels could have been handled a little bit more, I guess, refined, but yeah, could have been handled a little worse. They could have not moved at all, but trying to pull off the more angled look of the chest in the movie, I personally would have preferred two little panels just slid down, but this works fine enough. Another little design oddity on this figure are the roof panels hanging off the arms. They just kind of stand out a bit. I get what they were going for. They were trying to pull off the look of Bee's gauntlets, but having these kind of hang off the back as Bee's secondary wings, I think would have worked a lot better. It would have been a little more kibbly overall, but they're not horrible. They just kind of stick out, and they're a weird oddity, especially compared to how clean arms are on most modern Bee figures. In the way of accessories, Bee comes with this absolutely massive cannon, which you can slip into his hand. And yeah, it's a little oversized, but there's a reason for that. It automorphs, so when you split it open, a blade kind of slips out like that, and now he has kind of a dagger. So that's pretty neat. For the time, Bee's articulation was above average. Ball joint at the head, ball jointed shoulders, which are actually angled inward a bit, with a bit of butterfly on them actually, bend and swivel at the elbows, ball jointed wrists, ab crunch, and waist swivel. That is exceptionally rare to find on a figure from this time period. It was a little loose at first, but nothing I couldn't fix. Ball jointed hips, bend at the knee, and then a bit of a pivot at the toe. So, overall, for the time, some stellar articulation. Here he is with Legacy Blur, and as you can see, they're roughly the same height. Blur is a little bit shorter, but overall, Bee has more mass, but like I said, roughly the same height. And he absolutely dwarfs Red Alert in robot mode. So yeah. And then here he is with fellow Deluxe Autobot, Jazz. overall, I really don't have much to say about Bumblebee. It's a formula we've seen done so many times over the last 15 years that seeing it brought down into its bare bones state like this is a bit. I really don't have much to say about it. He does have a few interesting quirks, such as how his door wings and arm panels are handled, but other than that, he's not too far off from most Bumblebee figures we get nowadays in the Studio Series.
Bumblebee is an example of a figure being perfected on the first attempt, and built upon over the years, with most modern movie Bumblebee figures still tracing their engineering back to this 15-year-old figure. See you guys next time, where we'll be taking a look at Bee's rival,